we're making our own raviolis today, and I've already pre-made the pasta dough itself. If you want to refer to my YouTube channel, there's a video that I have on there where I've made sea bass in the past and I made homemade fettuccine noodles. It's essentially the same dough that I've made here, and that will show you how to do it. So we're gonna go ahead and roll this out, and I'm gonna take it through my pasta machine here and roll it into a thin, about a 1/8 inch to 1/16 inch layer. And I'm gonna use my handy dandy ravioli tool to shape them afterwards. Now you notice it was one entire ball. I went ahead and cut it into 4 pieces. Makes it easier to go through the machine. I'm gonna roll it out with the rolling pin here before I put it in there so I don't have to struggle bus it. And we'll go from there. All right, this is the stage where we make our filling for our raviolis. As you can see here, I have lobster tails prepared, cut open and ready to go in the oven. I left one that is not prepared so I can show you all how to get the lobster meat pulled out and ready to stick in the oven. Watch carefully. So you will take the lobster tail, you will take a pair of kitchen scissors, and you will go in at the top and just make a small incision all the way down to the tail end. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, just straight and narrow. Gives you a little resistance, it's okay. And after that's done, you're going to pull back this exterior shell, and you're gonna notice there's a little thin part there. It's gonna try to stick to it. Just kind of put your finger in there, or you could take a butter knife or a spoon or whatever you're comfortable with to separate the two. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just need to pull that back. And I will show you the next process after this. Same thing on the other side. I use my fingers. It's just the way it's always worked for me. Like I said, however you want to do it. Butter knife, whatever. As long as you get that meat pulled out. So we can pour over the butter, seasonings, and cook it in the oven. So once that is done, we're gonna pull the meat from the body and then pull back that part of the shell that we just cut and pulled away from it. We're gonna tuck it under so it's setting on top. Like that. And so now it matches its others. We're gonna go ahead and pour the seasonings that are going to accompany it into the oven, which, by the way, this is going to go into the oven after I put all the seasoning on it at 450 degrees for about 12 minutes. So we have here 6 tablespoons of butter. I'm gonna pour over these liberally, and then it's gonna be followed by 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of black pepper, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of paprika, and then 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. Like I said, liberally. And finish off the lemon juice. All right, now this is gonna go in the oven and cook. And once it comes out, we're gonna chop it up and add it to the ricotta and put it inside of our ravioli. Look at this. Oven ready. It's gonna be so good. All right, so the lobster is fresh out of the oven. This is the finished product here. I'm gonna let it set off to the side and cool off while I get the pasta. We have finished the pasta, well, the ravioli, and now I have here in this bowl, I have a cup of ricotta cheese. I'm going to grate this lime, so we have the zest of 1 lime, and I'm gonna chop up all the lobster tail here and add it to the filling, and then mix it together, add a little salt and pepper, some red pepper flake to my liking, and then we will fill the ravioli. Now I have the finished product for the filling. I'm gonna start putting this into our ravioli and sealing it up. And then I'm gonna put it in the fridge. I usually put it in there to set for about 15 minutes. And then we will boil some water. And these will go in the pot for about 3 to 4 minutes. It doesn't take much since the lobster's already cooked and it is ricotta cheese. And I'll go back over these with the fork, but I'll show you the finished product. Here's our finished product, pre-boil. They're so cute. I'm gonna put them in the fridge now to set up, like I said, for about 15 minutes. That way they're not falling apart in the pot, because last thing we want after all that hard work is to watch it all fall apart in a boiling pot. The water is boiling, obviously, and now is the moment of truth. We're gonna take the ravioli and dump them in there for 2 to 3 minutes, and then we will start on our sage brown butter sauce. I'm gonna do half at a time so I'm not overwhelmed. Set the timer and we wait. Here is the ravioli, fresh out of the boiling pot. Nice, yes. And so now I'm gonna set this off to the side and we're gonna start our sauce. I've got 6 tablespoons of butter melting right now over a medium heat. And once that gets going, I'm gonna give it about 2 minutes. We're gonna add the garlic in, and then it's gonna cook for about another 2 minutes, and then we'll add the sage. Sneaking a quick bite because I'm the chef and I can. Butter has been simmering now for about 2 minutes. I just added the clove of garlic in. It's starting to get fragrant. In about another minute, I will turn the heat off and add the sage. We will have our finished product. All right, the sauce is ready. I'm about to take it from the pan and pour it on top of our ravioli. Here's our finished product, lobster ravioli with a sage brown butter sauce.